If you go and try to sell your business right now and you don't have monthly recurring revenue, there is going to be difficulty doing so. Monthly recurring revenue is like the golden state of any business. But there is a big stipulation with that. But with monthly recurring revenue, there is churn, right? So today, what we're going to be talking about is how to get to that point where you have a very large MRR, a very large MRR as a fitness company, and how to have a really low churn rate while doing so. Now, you may say, oh, it's just, there's some systems or whatever. No, 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 no. It actually has to do with your pricing model, right? Your pricing model dictates everything in this, which we're going to talk about today. I'm going to go through the whole thing about pricing model and how to actually ascend your customers and get to the point where you have MRR on a constant basis. So looking at the entire funnel of everything in general here, right? Of, marketing to sales to operations, the end goal of the funnel is to ascend people to MRR and keep them there for a really long time, right? So in order to do that, we constantly have to be selling. We constantly have to be delivering all the way up into the MRR point and even past that to actually make them stay with us, right? So looking at what I put together, most fitness businesses, what they do is they focus on charging some sort of base retainer, right? They'll say like, hey, just pay me $30 a month, pay me 100 a month, pay me 200 a month, just a retainer, right? I don't care if it's $30 a month, $100 a month, $200 a month, it's a retainer, right? After this, they attempt to get, hundreds of people paying them on a monthly, biweekly, whatever, a rolling basis, right? But there's a big downfall with this. When you account for churn, account for chaos, so the amount of people you have to handle, the accounts, people, etc., all this moving parts, accounting for sustaining the system. So let's say you have an in-person gym, you have to maintain the gym, make the gym nice, etc. Let's say you have people joining some sort of online program, you have to actually fulfill and make sure that the system is good and improving and actually working for the large amount of people you have. You have to account for client acquisition, right? If you have so many people coming in, right? Which is honestly just a horrible way to scale, right? So let me ask you this. Let's say you're leaking at 20% monthly. So you have a bucket, and that bucket, 20% of the water is going out of the sides of the bucket when you put water in the top. And you're receiving 20% monthly in terms of new water. Technically, the water level is staying the same if you're leaking 20% and you're gaining 20%, right? It's the same thing. You aren't going anywhere. And this is the sad reality that most fitness businesses deal with their monthly recurring basis. But monthly recurring is good. We know this. I said that, right? I'm not saying monthly recurring is bad. Monthly recurring is bad if you lose your client base. Average gym is losing anywhere from 15 to 20% of their client base every single month, which is crazy to me, right? So what is really the best way to price then if this is, kind of a bad way to do so? It's quite simple. It doesn't have to do with the number. Like, it doesn't have to do with, charge $800 a month or charge $2 a month. It has nothing to do with that. It actually has to do with consumer psychology. So psychology of, consumers. Pretty simple. Let me ask you this. When you put your hand in hot water, so have you ever gone in like a hot tub or something and then you jump in a cold pool after? The cold pool feels way colder than it actually is. So it's the same thing. You feel as if the water's colder than it actually is. This is called disparity. So people react to differences. If I come in really slowly here and I yell really up here, you're going to notice that yell more in comparison to if I just yelled in the first place, right? So what we're going to be doing is instead of just when someone comes in and saying, hey, you're going to charge us, I'm going to charge you just up front. So coming back to the process here, when you get that lead and you sell that lead, instead of you just saying, hey, I'm going to charge you up, I'm going to charge you monthly recurring. Hey, pay me $30 a month. Hey, pay me $100 a month here. What we're going to do is we're going to switch it up here. So we're going to start with an upfront payment. What do you mean upfront payment? How am I supposed to sell people upfront? Oh my God, I'm not going to be able to sell that. Oh my God. What you're going to do is you're going to position it as a challenger package that has a lasting time frame. People like to know when the end date is to a certain thing, right? And the results they're going to get at the end of that time frame. Let's say there's I'm just pulling this out of my ass, 6-week package, 8-week package, 12-week package, etc. For this 6 weeks, you'll charge an upfront premium price. So when I say upfront, I'm going to say anywhere from 800 to $2,000, or maybe even more, depending on, potentially where you live, what you feel comfortable selling. And you're going to do that. Why would you do this? Right. I'm sure you're probably listening to this and you're like, why would I charge a premium price? I can just charge them $100 a month. It's easier to sell. People are going to say yes more often, etc. It's actually wrong. People are not going to say yes more. So number one, you're going to collect more cash up front rather than on the back end. So with this model, you're waiting for people to pay next month, pay next month, pay next month, pay next month, right? To pay your bills, to pay your employees, to pay all these things. You're just waiting for next month, right? So now you're going to have more cash up front rather than on the back end, which you can invest into marketing to get even more of these upfront packages. Number two, people are going to take it more seriously to get in. If it's harder to get in initially, people are going to take it more seriously. They're going to have a higher emotional investment, which is also going to lead to a lower churn rate. Number three, it's going to be easier to sell. Yes, it's going to be easier to sell. Why is it going to be easier to sell? It's very simple. Let me give you an example. If I give you a clear end date, clear outcome of what you're going to be getting, exactly the deliverables, exactly the accountability, exactly everything with a clear end date, people will pay 2 to 3 times more with the clarity of exactly laid out, organized, than it is to say, oh, we're going to just get you on $100 a month and you can cancel whenever, right? Because they're already thinking, oh, I'm going to cancel soon, right? If I don't like it, or next month I'll cancel. Number four, it's going to be easier to market. So let's say you run an ad. Let's say you market this. It's easier to market because you can just say, hey, I'm running a 90-day challenge for people who want to lose 30 pounds in 90 days, rather than saying, hey, join my gym for $100 a month, or hey, join my program for $100 a month and we'll try to lose some weight. Doesn't work, right? And next is, on a monthly rolling basis, people are always thinking about canceling before the next month payment rolls through. Think about instances with yourself. When you buy a software, you never pay for it all at once up front. Most people don't. You most likely pay for it incrementally. Why? Because they want to give themselves the option to cancel. You want to tell yourself, hey, I can cancel next month if I don't like it. You want to give yourself that option. People will happily pay 2 to 3 times more with a defined end date and result. That is the end. 6 is MRR is earned. Deliver before MRR. They will feel more comfortable. They'll have trust in yourself, your service, your company, etc. Right? In the end, instead of charging a monthly rolling rate, focus on delivering a high-end front package with a ton of value. Right? So you're not going to give everything, but you're going to give a ton of value. After they receive a ton of value from this and get great results, you're going to ascend them. How do you ascend them? So you're going to pretty much ascend with a few small principles here. Just to preface this, it is merely impossible to ascend someone if you haven't already delivered some sort of value or some sort of results to them. It doesn't have to be a massive amount of value and a massive amount of results, but it still has to be enough, right? They should be invested in yourself, your product, and your company as a whole, right? It's very straightforward. They should have already received a little bit of value that you can play off of. What you're going to do is you're always going to want to promise more. So from a psychological point of view, you should try to promise something greater than their current state. Allow them to look forward to something. So you basically run them through. You're going to say, hey, you're on this package, but this other package over here that we haven't done yet, or this monthly revenue, or this monthly payment is going to get you access to this is going to help you with even more, right? If I'm promising you the same thing, I've already tasted the cheese. I know what the cheese tastes like. I'm not going to bite the cheese again. What's that? That cheese looks interesting. I'm going to try that cheese, right? You're going to call them, book a meeting with them, etc. Sit them down. It can be virtually, it can be in person. And you're going to do this at least halfway through the program time. So I said 6 week or 8 week or 16 week, whatever, or 3/4 through. So between half and 3/4. Ask them about their experience with the program. Let them talk, how much they like the program. Ask about their goals, how much they have gotten so far from it. Their state of mind now versus when they started. Make a disparity between where they were versus where they are now, so that they can see how much they've progressed. And then you're going to want to even make their current state and set another goal for them so that they can look forward to that. So ask long-term, get them to admit They want a long-term relationship with you. If they admit it with you, then you don't even have to sell. Then you're going to basically, this is the closing line. It's very straightforward. And this is a very important process in ascending someone. So you're basically going to tell them, awesome. So as of right now, we are halfway through the program and we have, 3 more weeks left before the program ends. We've already gotten you some great results. You've already lost 20 pounds, and I don't want you to revert, to your old habits after we're done with this program. So, John, this is kind of what I'm thinking. Usually what I do is I just re-sign my clients for another like upfront package of list the high price of $1,200. But if you want, what we can do is take the remainder of the upfront that you've already paid. So we have 3 more weeks left. I think that accounts to like maybe $300, and put that $300 directly into the price of the monthly and bi-weekly, the payment that is for the monthly recurring process for the next 6 months. So you're going to be getting, I think, and then do the math, whatever, a month free. Let them think that, right? So you get the remainder of the program for free, right? And then I give you access to the full package and membership for only that rate of, and then list the X amount per month. How much should your monthly recurring revenue be or how much should your package be on a monthly recurring basis? It should be anywhere from $80 to $150. I think that's a very good range to be in, right? And this is if you're a health coach. You can go higher than that. I would experiment. I do have a few people who are doing like 200, 250. I think those are great rates to be at as well. Definitely go higher rather than lower. And then they're obviously going to say yes because it feels like they're getting a deal. It feels like, oh, I'm just going to take the money that I have now, get the rest for free, and then I get that contributed to that. Awesome. But make sure you get them locked in for a minimum of 6 months. If they give you resistance, just simply ask them, your goals with fitness are long-term, correct? Awesome. You're not hoping to kind of just get in shape for the next 2 months and then that's it. You're hoping to stay in shape forever? I see. Remind them of that and then get them signed in on that. I hope this video helped. This video is how to ascend your clients to an MRR basis and keep the churn rate drastically low. Basis of the video, don't charge a basic retainer upfront. Charge a upfront payment and then ascend them to an MRR. And you can even, I said 80 to 150 for a good rate for retainer. I would even go higher than that. Honestly, I have a few clients that are like 250 a month. If you get 30 people on 250 a month and then you're still signing that upfront, you are going to make a ton of money. So I hope this helps. Thank you for watching the video.